if a young entrepreneur came to you today and said, I want to take my phone flipping business to the next level, where do I go? Do I go into repairs? Do I go into retail? Do I start a brick and mortar store? What do I do? What would be your best answer for that?
Uh, Probably, it's very complicated to work with the carriers to open up a carrier store. You really got to have a lot of volume. One strategy is to find one strategy I would probably do if I was, let's say, suddenly planted and I was a young entrepreneur and I was wanting to win. I would probably find someone that ran a chain of stores and work under that entrepreneur, kind of learn the business and like earn your way in to be a partner. And a lot of these people that own these chains of stores, they're getting in their 50s and 60s. And they are looking for, honestly, young, energetic leaders that they can hand their stores to. And it becomes the decision, do I want to sell my business or do I want to give it to someone else and grow faster? Listen, let's be real with each other. Horses go lame. Race horses don't race forever. And once you discover that maybe you've been on the track too long, you need to find a new horse that is an inspirational leader that can come in and lead an organization. And that may be one of your people in your audience that sees an opportunity. And, if anything, I would go out there and be intentional. Find 20 of the top dealers in the country, whether it's Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Metro PCS, whatever. Find the top and go out with intention and meet each and every one of these owners and say, listen, I want to do something amazing with my life and I want to learn from you. I would love to work under you for 1 year. And even if you worked for nothing, for freaking peanuts, you were going to earn your way in. And one of those guys, if you don't choose entrepreneurship, there's nothing wrong with having a key leadership role in one of those organizations. And you're going to learn a lot. Listen, if I was going to do this over again, it's exactly what I'd do. I'd find the ballers in the community and I'd say, listen, I want to work with you. I want to be your right-hand man and you just pay me peanuts. I don't give a damn. I just want to work with you for 1 year and learn from the best. And listen, you're gonna learn you're gonna skip all that hard stuff that people are typically doing, and learn that way. I mean, it's an amazing opportunity when you can find a CEO or an owner of an organization and work under. You're gonna learn so much more than going the traditional method.
So, you went and now you're no longer working all day, every day in Absolute Wireless and you're doing a ton of other things. Talk to me a little bit about what was your greatest learning through your entrepreneurial journey at Absolute Wireless? Meaning, what was the biggest learning that enabled you to kind of transition and get into new verticals now?
Well, it's the same thing they always tell you. Stop working in the business. I mean, I've done everything in the business. You name it. I've either fixed the phone, I've greeted a customer, I've ordered the phones, I did the payroll, I paid the bills, all that stuff that you do as an entrepreneur. It was the moment I got into a CEO roundtable that I discovered that I need to step back and I need to get better people, train them up, show and cast my vision, and they will lead the organization. So, it wasn't even until about 5 years ago I created my own our core values for our organization, and that's super important. I follow a thing called Traction. If you're not familiar with Traction, it's the EOS, which stands for Entrepreneur Operating System. And it's a systematic approach from your one-on-one meetings, from what's called the level 10 meeting, which is an update every week. But basically, you have to have core values, gives you the why. You got to make sure that your message is clear. You got to communicate it with your team. And then every single week, you're looking at your goals and objectives and making sure you're following the plan. Every quarter you get together, you recalibrate, you spend 2 days with the team. You look at these 1-year goals achievable? Yes. All right. 3-year goals. Is that good? 10-year goals. All right. We're golden. As long as you do that, that cadence and you do that systematically, you cannot help to grow an organization. How you don't grow an organization, you don't meet with your team quarterly and talk about goals. That's a good way not to do it. A good way not to do it is show up. If I was in this business, and if I was showing up in a store and opening that door every day, I could tell you with 100% certainty I would not grow the business. You cannot do and think at the same time, and a leader should always be thinking. That's my role. My role is to think. My role isn't to do. And a lot of people think they're multitaskers. Well, I can do both. No, sorry. You think you can, but you can't. If you can't let go of leaders, you can't let go of the doing piece, then go work for someone else and just be a doer. And there's nothing wrong with being a doer. And you can make lots of money being a doer in some organizations. But entrepreneurship is different. And you know this.
No, I think, I really liked what you said. I think from what I really heard from you express right now is really that you have to set very clear 10-year destinations and then ultimately kind of foster talent to make sure those destinations and sub-destinations are met. So you can continue to continuously keep a 10-year vision each and every year as you go. I mean, is that really the gist of what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, and again, anybody can follow this model. EOS Worldwide is the name of the organization. They have a ton of free content. Definitely worth going through there, watching a video on the Level 10 meeting, which is a structure and how you organize a meeting, and watching how to develop your core values. And the core values are seem so hokey. They can seem so hokey. Most organizations have core values. And if you don't have core values, you have no language. If you have no language, people will do things because of their own wants and needs. But you have to give them a recipe and say, listen, this is the way we do business here. For instance, ours is called I care. Sometimes I call it I cur because I'm in the South and that's how we speak. But I care means it's a feeling that I want to create when you walk in my store. I want to create a feeling that I care about you. If you were to walk in off the street into my store, I want you to think to yourself, I mean, literally have an emotion that I've came to the right place, and that person looking at me and greeting me and by standing and walking up to me and giving name exchange cares about me. And that's a feeling that I have to create. And so what ultimately happens with this model for me, and every letter is, integrity, care about the customer, accountability, adaptability, respect, and excite. That's I care. But essentially what that means is if I do those things with you on each transaction, you will tell other people. So my core values is actually my marketing strategy. And so I'm in retail, and the relationship with the person that I greet with is my next customer. That's how I get the next customer, is creating that value.